Trials of new HIV vaccine begin at Oxford University.
Here's a summary of the article.
Trials of a new HIV vaccine have begun at Oxford University, building on the success of the COVID vaccine developed by the institution. In Phase 1 of the trial, which is run by the university's Jenner Institute, 13 HIV-negative adults, aged 18 to 65 and who are considered not to be at high risk of infection, will initially receive one dose of the HIV vaccine. HIV-positive adults will be involved in later phases of the trial. While plans exist to start similar trials in Europe, Africa and the US, the trial is part of the European AIDS Vaccine Initiative, an internationally collaborative research project funded by the European Commission. At present, prevention of HIV largely focuses on behavioral and biomedical interventions, such as voluntary medical male circumcision, condom use, and anti-retroviral drugs used prior to exposure. Oxford University said its vaccine candidate would be the best solution to ending the AIDS epidemic. Professor Thomas Hank, professor of vaccine immunology at the Jenner Institute, and lead researcher on the trial said, "The pace of decline in new HIV infections failed to reach the fast-track target agreed upon by the United Nations General Assembly in 2016, fewer than 500,000 new infections per year in 2020. Even in the broader context of increasing antiretroviral treatment and prevention, an HIV-1 vaccine remains the best solution and likely a key component to any strategy ending the AIDS epidemic." Dr. Paola Ciccone, Senior Clinical Research Fellow at the Jenner Institute and the trial chief investigator, said, "Achieving protection against HIV is extremely challenging, and it is important that we harness the protective potential of both the antibody and T-cell arms of the immune system."
This post received a score of 5,500, with an upvote ratio of 98%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Is it possible to get vaccinated after being infected? A fake. HIV stays in the system by hiding from the immune system. Would this possible make this hiding ineffective?
Yes, or rather testing that is the next step in the trials. First, HIV-negative subjects with low-risk lifestyles get vaccinated, presumably to test its safety and efficacy without the complication of an actual infection, and then it is tested on HIV-positive individuals as a curative treatment in a later phase of the trials.
Not efficacy. At best, they will look at immunological markers they think food correlate with efficacy. But no way to get efficacy until you do a large-scale study.
Well, this is good news.
2021 year of the vaccines.
Fingers crossed for the mRNA cancer one they're working on.
Haven't heard of that one. How would that even work given that cancer isn't a virus?
These are not preventative vaccines, they are used in treatment. The mRNA expresses proteins that are found in the cancer cells but not in healthy cells. These will be different for every patient but can easily be made to measure. More information. Not a journal study, but a column.
I'm confused by the people arguing with you here when all you did was provide a link and explanation. I've read into this stuff a lot recently, and some of it, HIV and Parkinson's especially, sounds super promising.
This happens a bunch on Reddit. Don't take it to heart.
Agreed. I'm normally better at not engaging with the trolls, oddballs, or, in this case, merely slightly strangely placed comments.
Good news. Lots of people have HIV worldwide.
This sentence standing on its own is Dr. Farnsworth in a nutshell.
To shreds, you say?
We'll have to wait for results in April 2022. Then another vaccine trial will begin with HIV-positive adults around the world. And then in the distant future we might get FDA approval, assuming it actually works.
So how does this trial work? You get vaccinated and then have sex with HIV-infected volunteers.
Upside, get to have sex. Downside, control group.
I mean, it's unethical to expose someone to HIV unintentionally. What they will most likely do is wait a month and take a blood test to culture the antibodies that are against HIV, take a count, and then use those antibodies to attack a strain of HIV in vitro. In other words, no intercourse involved.
The next step will likely be widespread use in the general population, not everybody, but just a lot of random people,
and compare HIV rates between that population and HIV rates of the population at large to see if it was statistically different, right?
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.